Okay, hello everyone. Hello everyone. Happy Friday. Today is Friday. Hope you guys having a wonderful day. Hope you had a wonderful week. I am Valery Molone, life coach, motivational speaker, creator of Love You Life program. And today we're going to talk about how to overcome fear, something that I'm very familiar with. It took me a long time to overcome my own fears, so I have a lot of experience on that. But before I do that, I was on yesterday and I announced that I'm very excited because this week is week of launch of my program, Love Your Life. And I want to talk about that a little bit before I give you guys 3 strategies on how to overcome fear. So, a Love Your Life is a health and wellness program, a self-development program. Something that I created it is covers all area of your life, your health, mental health, physical health, relationship with self and others, your career or your job, and money mindset. So the registration is open now. We opened the registration yesterday. If you sign up for this registration now, I have 2 days that I'm offering my bonuses. Yesterday and today is the last day for the bonus. So if you sign up today, that means that you're going to get 2 complimentary personal coaching session with me. When this 2 coaching session, we can discuss your personal life or professional life, whichever area of your life that you feel like you need help and you feel like you wanted to work on, we can do that. But you have to sign up either today before it ends. That's why the bonus is going to end today. So I'm very excited about that program. This program is very dear to my heart. This is all the experience that I have over 30 years of experience. I went through a lot of suffering. I went through a lot of emotional pain, a lot of physical pain. I was suffering from anxiety, from stress. I was procrastinating. I had no education. I had no job. I had no money. I'm a single mom. I tried to do a lot of stuff. I learned all of my wisdom and experience from 30 years is on this program. I always wanted to be part of a program that I can actually have knowledge from all area of life in one area under one umbrella, and I couldn't find anything. So this is the program that you can find everything in one place. Not only me, but we also going to have a lot of experts coming in and talking about relationship, talking about your career, talking about your health, mental health and physical health, and money mindset. So it's an amazing program. It's a monthly subscription program, and if you don't like it, you can always come out of it. But it's so worth a try. So if you're looking to change your life, if you're looking to do some this month something new for your life, and you wanted to take your life to the next level and create a life that you absolutely love, that you always dream of, this is your opportunity. So go ahead and sign up for that. Link is going to be somewhere here. I'm going to put it later today. But if not, just go to valerymolone.com and the registration, you can register right there. Anyway, so today, let's talk about how to overcome fear. Especially in time like this, a lot of people are very fearful right now. They're very uncertain right now. People are losing their job left and right. They don't have money. They're living check by check. They're collecting unemployment. There's so much anxieties around. There's so much stress around. There's so much uncertainty around that causes a lot of fear for a lot of people. So I am one of those people that I have a lot of experience when it comes to fear. Why? Because I travel a lot to the countries that I wasn't familiar with. It wasn't my choice. I was just did it because I had to, because of my circumstance, of my lifestyle, and the way the country that I came from, my marriage, and all of that. So I went to the places that were very unfamiliar, that I didn't have, couldn't speak the language, I didn't have no job, I didn't have no money, and I had to live. So as you can see how much fear I had every single time when I moved. When change was coming in, I was so fearful. And in the process of that, I learned how to overcome fear and certain stuff that I had to do to overcome the fear, because I was like, okay, I can't live my life fearfully all my life. Fear is another source of a stress. It's almost like a stress. When you're fearful, it's actually a stress. We say we are fearful. There's 2 types of a fear. One, fear of something, a phobia of something. So you've seen a lot of people are there afraid of snake or spider or heights or things like that, right? So that's a phobia that you have. And then the other fear, which is very common, which a lot of people are suffering from, that fear is fear of failure. Failure of anything, whether if you're starting something with your health, what if I don't finish it, what if I cannot do it, mental health, relationship with yourself and others, your career, most importantly career, if you wanted to explore to get another job, or stand out in your own job, or become an entrepreneur, or make your business profitable, whatever it is, that fear creeps in first and stops you from doing whatever you wanted to do to bring that desire to life. So fear exists with every one of us. Fear is always there. One thing that I have to tell you before I give you my strategy is that fear, you cannot get rid of it. Sometimes fear is good. It actually is protecting you. Sometimes when fear comes in, that, for example, when you're out drinking, right? When you're out drinking and then that, oh my God, before you drive, you like kind of have the fear of like, if I drive, what if I get in a car accident? What if I hurt somebody? So that fear is actually kind of good. It's protecting you. But you have to be able to differentiate between fear, what type of fear you're having and why you're having it and all the other good stuff. So you can't get rid of the fear, but it's very, very possible to manage your fear, to know your fear, to handle your fear, to kind of like a dance with fear. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. So if you're fear of something, that I'm not going to talk about today, but I'm going to mostly talk about emotional fear of failing, of a failure. I'm not starting something because I'm going to fail. And for that, J.K. Rowling, my favorite quote, that I'm not probably not going to say this in the right way, but I know the whole concept of her saying is that if you don't start something, you are a failure by default. So I'm going to shorten that. And that is so true. Think about it, okay? A lot of time, we don't start something because we're so afraid of failure. Oh my God, I don't want to fail. But in the end of the day, if you think about it, we're failure by default because we didn't even try. We didn't even try to go out there because we're afraid of failure. So for that reason, I am going to give you 3 things to think about next time when you have a fear. Go through this list of 3 things. Number 1, okay, when you are fearful of something, okay, here's what you have to do. You have to realize, where is that fear coming from? Where is it coming from? A lot of time, I would say 99% of the time, fear comes in from the past memory. Fear literally comes in from the past memory. Something happened. Someone said something that made you fearful at the time. So now when you're trying to do something closer to that event, then that fear comes in. Because you see, the way the body and mind works is that we have conscious and subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is a storage of all the feelings, all the things that we have been through in the past, and it's in there. And every time when we think of that, those emotions comes to the front and comes to the reality of today's life. So if you were afraid, if you tried something 10 years ago and you failed, or somebody made fun of you, or somebody told you you're not good enough, or somebody told you you shouldn't have tried it, you cannot do it, that feeling is stored, that thought is stored in your subconscious mind. So now that you are actually trying to do something similar to that, those little voice comes in and tells you, what are you doing? Like, do you remember when we did this 10 years ago and you failed? Are you kidding me? You're going to start this again? We go back to our comfort zone. We stop ourselves from doing whatever we wanted to do. So it's very familiar how the process works. It's a cycle. It's coming from the past. When you're trying to do something, that thought comes in, thoughts creates emotion, and emotion gets you. And some fear is actually physically. Have you seen some fear that when you literally get sweaty, you get lightheaded, your body like shakes, you actually get physical signals, not just mentally being fearful, but even your body telling you that, hey, I'm very fearful of doing this. A lot of time people do that when they make a bigger decision, like when they want to get married, or they want to have kids, or they want to get out of a relationship, or they want to be going on a relationship, or they're trying to change job. So every time they do that, this fear creeps and comes in. Because if you listen to my video yesterday, I talk about self-care. And if you haven't, go back and listen to that. We inherited this identity from the time that we were born. We lived our life based on other people's expectation. So we don't really know our true self. So we're doing things because we were taught And sometimes we don't even know the reasoning and we're just doing it. So if you've been hurt as a child, if your parents told you or somebody told you you're not good enough and you can't do this and you shouldn't even try, where you come from, your religion, your upbringing, what country you're from, what language you speak, who you hang out with, all of that matters. All of that matters. You can't take that away. And you know how people say, well, you can't think about past, you don't live in the past, don't bring past. Yes, they're right. You cannot live in the past. But don't forget about the past, what makes you who you are today. In order to live happy, healthy, joyful, and wealthy is to know where you are now and then picture your future. But where you are right now, a lot of fear, anxiety, and stress comes in from the past. So we have to fix that now to not carry it on with us in the future. And that's how fear, stress, anxiety, uncertainty, overwhelm works, because we carrying it on the stage of from the past to now, from now to the future. So in order to stop that, we have to stop. Okay, wait a minute. I have to see, why am I fearful? Where is this fear coming from? The fear is coming from 10 years ago, I did this and someone told me, or I felt like a failure and I'm not trying it again. So the number one thing is to acknowledge and get rid of fear is to, where is it coming from? Know that where is it coming from. So now, starting today, every time when you're fearful of something or fearful of failing, is write down, let me see, have I done this event in the past? And close your eyes, go to that moment and remember all those negative words or negative feeling that you had. So once you recognize that feeling, once you know where is it coming from, that is the step number one. Step number two is to feel it. Feel that feeling. A lot of people cannot get rid of fear because they are trying so hard to get rid of it. Fear is energy. It's a feeling. You cannot get rid of it, but it comes and goes, just like every other feelings, just like exciting feelings, just like being content feeling, just like being calm feeling. It comes and it goes. So a lot of people spend so much time trying to not to be fearful. I don't want to have a fear. I don't want to be afraid. Instead of doing that, because you're resisting with your body, you're just telling your body, stop, stop, stop. Your body does more and more of it. To realize what is it coming from, then give it a time it. Okay, I'm fearful. My body's shaking, I'm sweating, I'm really tired, my eyes are blurry, I'm shaking. Okay, let the fear run its course in your body, physically and emotionally. And while is that happening, time yourself. Look at the time and write down, okay, is my fear, how long it lasts? Is it lasting 30 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day, 2 day? What is the duration of your fear? Knowing where does it come from, how does it feel, and how long is it taking you? Why is this so important to do? It's a practice. When you do that, once you simply relax and let the fear take over and do nothing about it, it would lose its power. It will literally lose its power. Fear is like a unbehaved child that is like 3 years old that is crying for something and you don't give it, and the more you're saying no, the louder they get. That's literally what fear is. The more attention you give to the fear, the more fearful you will become. So in order to get rid of the fear, you have to acknowledge it. You have to know where it's coming from. You have to time it, and you have to let it run its course. Because a lot of time what we give attention to, it becomes bigger, whether it's a good or bad. That's why a lot of people meditate. That's why a lot of people exercise. We eat healthy. We try to keep ourselves happy. Why? Because whatever you put attention on, that gets bigger. So if you are fearful and if you are trying to get rid of fear, you're still doing something about it. And that's why the fear is not going and it keeps coming more and more and more. It's kind of subconsciously attention that you're giving to your fear. So, but if you let it run, okay, don't give it any attention. Try not to get rid of it. Try not to uh, make it more. Just simply let it run its course. The more you do that, the more the fear will lose its power. Now, again, you cannot get rid of the fear because sometimes fear is good. If you're drunk and if you want to drive, the fear is stopping you. That's a good for you. That's a good thing. But overall fear of failure, you have to let it run. I know so many people suffer from fear because they're not even trying, they're not even allowing the fear to go through their body. They're trying to resist it. And every time they're trying to resist it, the fear gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And once you acknowledge it and don't give it no attention, it goes away. So step number one, know where it's coming from. I will guarantee you 95% of the time, your fear is coming from your past. It's not coming from right now, because right now you're here, you haven't even started your day, you don't know what's going on, you don't know what's going to happen. So fear is not here. See, you already have it in your subconscious. So when you see something, your fear is attached to something or someone. Because when we see someone or something, the feeling comes in and the fear comes in. So you don't know who you're going to see and what you're going to do besides your to-do list, unless that has something to do with your fear. But fear always comes in from the past. So when we think about the past, we're living over here, and all of a sudden the feeling comes in and the fear comes in, and your body gets, and you all, oh my God, I'm fearful. So one of the example of that is job. And I see a lot of people, they want to change a career, or they want to go get another job, or they want to speak up in their job to the boss, or they want to ask for a raise or something, but they're very fearful. That means that they have a lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem, because as a child they were told they were not heard. They just simply did what other people told them, and that kind of subconsciously carries in their mind. And then now they wanted to speak up, now they wanted to come in, that feeling of fear comes in. The minute that feeling of fear comes in, then you're like, oh my God, that fear is there. You're sitting in this place and you're not even doing anything. You're just simply thinking about talking to your boss or talking to your partner or doing something, the fear comes in because of the past. That's why fear creeps in every time when you don't know what's coming, because you're like, I'm not even doing anything. I'm just sitting over here thinking about something and I'm fearful. A lot of other common thing for entrepreneurs, especially for online entrepreneur, for going in front of the camera, okay? Being in front of the camera, because what is the fear coming from? Getting judged by how you speak and how you look, and what if you deliver your content right or not, or what people are gonna say. The criticism from outside, from the social media, from other people, makes us fearful not to be in front of the camera. That's why people say I'm very shy. Oh my God, I get so nervous. I can't be authentic. I don't know. It's hard for me to be in front of the camera. Why is you hard to be in front of the camera? Think about it. Let's work it backward. Because you worry about other people, what they're gonna think of you. If I leave you alone in front of the camera and say, hey, listen, nobody's gonna see you. Record yourself in the camera, and after that, I'm gonna delete it. Nobody ever gonna see it. Would you be nervous? Would you have a fear? No. So the fear is attached with the criticism of what other people think of me, what other people are going to say to me. So that is virtually as well as in person. So when we are talking to someone, the minute that we're trying to express ourselves and be ourselves, we're like, oh my God, I don't know what this person is thinking of me. I don't know what they're going to say about me. Did I do something right? Am I presentable? Am I said the right thing? Did the right thing? All of that, what brings the fear. But if I tell you to on your own, sit in a room and talk however you want, dress however you want, would you care? No. So know that the fear comes in because your expectation of other people, what they think of you. And that was mentioned on yesterday's video, because we have given this identity to us that is really not us. You have to make a certain amount of money. What is your job title? How you look like? What do you do? And if you're not following that script of life, then people might gonna say things about you. And that's why the fear creeps in. So fear is really not bad once you get used to it. It's really like simply like a wind that comes and goes. Fear always going to be there. But when you're acknowledging it and you say to yourself, hey, I see you. I know you're here. I know you're trying to scare me, but do you think I'm sitting down? I'm going to time myself, see how long you're going to scream. How long you're going to scream. Once the screaming is done, you're going to come back to your true self. You're going to come back to your home, to your heart, to your love, to your compassion of yourself. And then you make a decision from there. And when you do that, sometimes the fear keeps coming in every time you think about that decision, but that's okay. The more you let it go, the more you let your body go through it, the more the fear would lose its power. And that's what really fear does. A lot of people are so afraid. They're not starting. They're living in such a comfort zone, because they're so afraid what people think of them. What if I fail? What if I don't get this right? So what? As long as no one's dying, so what? Why do you care so much what other people think of you? Because you were taught that way, because you inherited that mentality from the past of the society, how they want you to be. And again, yesterday I talked about, who are you? What is your purpose in this life? When you think about that, when you find yourself, fear is literally loses power. The reason you're fearful is because of someone or something. Because you're perfect the way you are, whether you believe it or not. Whether you believe it or not, you're perfect the way you are. I don't care what anybody says. You don't believe in that. That's why fear is with you. You don't think that. That's why the fear is with you. So once you come back and look at yourself and say, hey, wait a minute, I'm okay. I'm good. My life is good. If I decide to do something, I'll do it. If I fail, oh well, I'm going to fail on it. But the fear will lose its power. So I'm not even going to talk about the failure. That's going to be in another episode that I'm going to talk about. But just talk about fear. That's what really fear job is, to come and block you for the first thing. No, 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 no. You cannot do that. Remember what people think of you. Remember what you were told. Do you remember that? You can't do this. Are you crazy? You want to make a fool of yourself again? Fear dominated you. Literally dominated you. But you know how have you ever been with people that are like, they talk about you and they say something and you look at them and like, okay. And then the word loses power. That feeling and that tension on the room loses power. That's exactly what fear is. Fear will lose its power once you let it run its course. Okay. Now, for this week, if you want to do something to test your fear, this is what I want you to do. I want you to think of something that you want to do, or if you are fearful of something all your life, something small. Pick something small. Don't pick something big. Something small that you are fearful. Whether going live on Facebook, whether you wanted to be in front of the camera, whether you wanted to sing someplace, karaoke, whether it's something that used to make you fearful, or you think that you're not going to do it because fear will creep in. Do it. Pick something small. Do it this week, and then when you stand up, remember my voice in your head. Fear is going to come in, try to dominate you. Just let it run to your body. Stand over there, take a deep breath. Say, okay, you're very familiar. I know you. I know you. Let it run to your body and time yourself. How long it takes for the fear to actually do that childish behavior, screaming and yelling, try to dominate you. Time yourself. And then do that thing anyways. And you will see how the fear will never come in that is strong with you again. So this week, pick one thing. And then if you wanted to continue this every week, try to pick something that is make you fearful. And that's how I came over my fear. So one of my fear was to speak in front of people. Because I speak so many languages and I couldn't speak English that good, I always was very embarrassed to talk in front of people because I don't know how to articulate stuff really well. It's not about the education. It's not, I can read a book, I can like write, whatever. But when it comes to articulation, when I'm still practicing on it, used to be very, very fearful. So when I was stand up in front of people, I was used to be very fearful. I don't know how to talk. What if I say something wrong? What if they're gonna make fun of me? What if they say that, what did you say? And people used to say that to me. I'm sorry, what was that word? And they still do it, but But that was my biggest fear, to talk in front of people, because I couldn't speak the language. And I went to countries, and I didn't live enough in a country to learn the language. So I kind of spoke the language halfway, but not all the way. And when I came to America, I couldn't speak the English language. So I couldn't talk. Even if I wanted to talk to someone about, have a simple conversation, I wouldn't do it because I was so fearful. I was like, oh my God, I cannot talk. What if these people are going to make fun of me? And what if they think I'm stupid? Because sometimes, you know how we think people are, like, we're too quick to judge what people are based on their look, based on the way they talk, based on the job title. Listen, everybody done it. I've done it. You've done it. Everybody done it, because we were taught that way. It's not your fault. You didn't do it intentionally. We were taught that way. But I used to think that way. So I'm like, oh my God, what if somebody make fun of me? What if somebody thinks I'm stupid? They probably did. They probably thought I was stupid. They probably thought that you're ridiculous. But you know when the fear went away? When I actually accepted. Okay, so what? But the more I practice, the better I will become. I'm not going to lose the opportunity to not practice because somebody's going to make fun of me. And that fear comes in and stopping me every time. And the same thing happened with job. Every time I changed job, because I couldn't speak the language, I couldn't have good jobs. So I would like do jobs that doesn't require speaking that much. So I would clean houses, or I would babysit, or I would do things like that, busboy, or cleaning the tables, things like that. But even then, I was really fearful if somebody would talk to me. And then I was like, oh my God, like, I can't even speak. How can I get a good job? And then when I would get a good job, I would fuck it up all the time, answering the phone or doing something because of the language, and they would fire me. But to go to another job, I was so fearful. Oh my God, what if again? before I would even get the job, I would be doing good in an interview. I would get the job. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get fired because of the past experience that how those fired me. Now he's going to, and trust me, I got fired so many times because that fear was keep coming in from so many jobs. I got fired because once I got fired from the first job, that fear was keep following me through the other jobs. And then that was the reason I became my own boss, and I created my own business because I never wanted to get fired again. So in a way, it was kind of good, but at the same time, at that time, I was very fearful. So once I realized that, okay, you know what? You got to stop. You got to stop. It's not nobody's fault. It has nothing to do with everybody else. It has a lot to do within yourself. You are good. If you cannot speak English that good right now, that's fine. But you will eventually. But practice. Even if you get embarrassed, if somebody says something about you, even if people think they're stupid, that's okay. Keep going. Keep going. And that's what I did. I kept going. I put one foot in front of another, slowly, slowly, slowly. And God knows I still have to practice, and I still have to learn, and I still have to grow. But I'm not going to stop myself because the fear is going to stop me, because of someone or something that in the past scar me to not create a future that I want for myself and for my family because of the fear. So if you have any fear, honey, it's nobody else but you. And you're perfect the way you are. You got to stop letting fear dominate you. Go out there, do your thing. You're going to be fine. When people talk, they talk. No matter how good you do, they're still going to talk. But you have to be okay within yourself. You have to love yourself and trust yourself enough that you're going to be okay. Acknowledge your fear. Don't avoid it. Become friend with it. I see you. Good. Oh, there we go. You're here again. And see how it loses power. And that's what I did to get rid of my fear. And I hope these strategy work for you. Love to hear from you. Let me know how you think about this fear. And if you're practicing this, let me know how the outcome will come. But meanwhile, I teach all of this and much more in my program, Love Your Life. Registration is open now. Register for that. I want to see you on the other side. I want you to do something today to get rid of your stress, your anxiety, your uncertainty, and fear, because you deserve the world. You are better than that. And you have to go out there and show it. Don't let fear stopping you. You can have a great health. You can have an amazing relationship with yourself and others. You can have an amazing job, business, and you can make all the money in the world you want. As long as you are your true self, as long as you love yourself, as long as you trust yourself, as long as you know that it's your life, you making it, you're in charge because you are the universe. So how do you want your universe to look like? And if you don't like it, today, make a decision and change it. And you can do it. Thank you so much for watching me, guys. If you have any question about fear, please put it in the comment box and I'll be more than happy to answer. And hope you join my program because I teach this and much, much more. We have not just me, but other experts that you can learn from, that you can create a life that you absolutely love. Thank you so much for watching. Till tomorrow, have a great day.